Welcome everyone to this short session on neck. Thank you for joining today. I am starting on my mat today, but I covered it with a blanket. And I did that mainly because I want us to be able to slide. Sometimes the mats are sticky. Mine is very sticky, so it makes it difficult to slide. So that's why I'm adding a blanket. So any blanket that you have from home, go catch it, put it on top of your mat. And if you have a belt, we are going to be using a strap. If you have a yoga belt, it will be ideal because I want a big loop on it. If you don't have something like this, you can play with a scarf or a belt from a pair of pants, okay? So what we're going to do first is to come onto our backs, keep your knees bent, put the feet on the mat, relax the shoulders, and we're going to just start connecting a little bit more to the breath so the practice is more effective, okay? So just try and loosen the weight into your support, mat, floor, anything that's underneath. And see if you can slowly start inviting a breathing pattern that feels even, smooth, and steady. Sometimes slowly and gradually, as we come with our awareness into the breath, we are able to listen and pick up sounds, the quality of the breath. Maybe you are recognizing where the breath is going or where are you feeling it in your body. And with that, we have the opportunity to expand and open more space in the front of the body, the sides, and the back of the body as well. Try and soften the face. And this is also a chance to notice if there's any tension in the body, or if you're feeling tired, depleted, or energized, right? So those things are very good pieces of information for us to tailor the practice the way we need it today, okay? We are going to keep this shape as it is, and very slowly and simply, we are going to start taking chin over to the right. Of course, I have the support of the blanket, right? And then I feel the back of my skull touching into my support, taking my chin over to the second side. Inhaling through the nose if you can. We are coming back towards neutral and over to the right. Inhaling again, back to center. Exhaling over to the left. So this may feel or seem pretty simple, and it is simple, but it's giving us an opportunity as we apply gentle pressure into the back of your skull or the bones, right, the temples, the area that you are feeling touching down, to ignite more power and fluidity in the neck muscles, okay? So we are firing those muscles up a little more. So press gently and maybe gradually you add a little bit more pressure into the back of your head. Now notice as you're doing this, if your shoulders are tending to go towards your ears or they feel tight, okay? And see if you can drop them. Imagine you're dropping 2 blocks or 2 rocks, right? And you're letting them be really heavy on the floor. I'm adding one more side to side, going from right over to my left again, and then back towards the neutral. Good. To help with neck muscles, of course, we mobilize also the upper back and the shoulders because they are connected. So now what we are going to do is to bring the arms alongside the torso, and I'm just going to slide my right arm down and then bring that right arm back towards neutral. So what I'm doing is mobilizing that shoulder down towards my foot, okay? So sliding down and then back up. And let's add a little bit of the other one going opposite way. So I'm sliding right shoulder down, left shoulder up, and then back to neutral. I'm not reversing, okay? So same side, right shoulder down, left one up, and back to neutral. Two more. Right shoulder down, left one up, back to neutral. And one last one. Good. Come back to center, feel the sensations, and let's switch it up, okay? So left shoulder now goes down, right one, I'm letting it come up a little, back to neutral. We'll add 4 more, slow, okay? My shoulders are not lifting off the mat, they are just sliding up and down like a gliding action, okay? 3, same side all the time, coming back. I'm also adding with this a little bit of a stretch or elongation in the side body, back to neutral, and one more. Good, I'm back to center, and then from there I'm going to extend my arms to the sides. If you have the space, right, you extend. If not, you do more of a cactus shape, or you send the arms a little higher. And now from here, what I'm going to do is rotate my arms and also rotate the neck or the cervical spine. So I'm going to try and send my right arm up and over towards the back. So you see how I'm creating what we call an external rotation. At the same time that I'm doing that, I'm going to bring the chin over to the left. And then I'm returning to center. Now I'm going to switch it over to the other side. You won't be able to see my left arm, but it's doing the same thing as before, right? So I'm going to turn the left arm externally. So I'm trying to touch with my fingers onto the floor, perhaps, or the side. Chin is going to the right, and then I'm coming back to center. Okay, so we are creating external rotation first, then we'll change it up. Right arm goes up and over, turning chin over to the left, and back to center. And then I'm doing the same, left side, I have less space for me, but same idea. Coming back, one more, okay, each side. Right arm rolls over, head to the left, back to neutral. Left arm rolls over, head to the right, and back. Good. Now I'm going to do internal rotation with both arms. So I'm going to turn both arms down. So you see how I'm bringing them forward and down, and then back to palms facing up to the skies. Again, turning both arms, shoulders, hands down, and then returning one more time. I'm turning internally, we call it internal rotation, and coming back. Beautiful, let's go from here. Now I'm getting my arms into a cactus shape, okay? And with my elbows, I'm going to press down and try to lift my chest. So what I'm feeling is a little bit more of the connection into my shoulder blades coming towards one another, and also a lift in the center of my chest, okay? So it's almost like I'm arching a little bit there. Take a deep breath in, press through the head down, and exhale and release it. Good. Now we are going to add a little more to this, which will affect also in a good way the neck, okay? So now what I'm going to do is to bring my elbows next to me. You see how my palms are facing each other, fingertips pointing up. And I'm going to press with my elbows, and again, kind of like thrust or push into your blankie and lift the spine, right? So I'm creating an arch, lifting the chest, and then releasing. We're gonna do 3 more. Inhale, exhale. Again, inhaling, push with the elbows, arch the spine, press with the head down, exhale, and one more. Good, and now I'm adding a tiny bit more. I'm going to press myself up into half of a seat. I'm going to say my forearms now are pressing down onto my blanket. My shoulders and elbows are more or less in the same line, as you can see. And instead of letting my chest sink What we are going to work on is to push the mat or the blanket away, right, or down, so I can lift the chest. And this time I'm adding cervical spine. So I'm going to drop the head. Then I'm coming back, release a little. Again, I'm going to push, lift, shoulder blades are moving into one another, head goes back. And I'm returning, letting myself drop a little bit in, okay? Again, pushing, lifting, let the head drop. You can even take your tongue out. I know this looks funny, but it's a very good way to soften neck muscles and release. One more, if you can, you add that tongue going out, okay? Push the mat, lift the chest, shoulder blades into one another, head back, tongue out, coming back. Good, and we release again into our blanket, okay? Good, now I'm sending my arms up towards the skies. I'm bringing my palms together, and now I'm going to slide right arm a little further up. You can see how my shoulder blade is moving up also towards the skies, back to neutral. And then I'm switching left side and back. Right side, sliding up. My head is down on my blanket, right? So it's pressing down as I'm moving the shoulder blades and shoulder joints. One more each side. Good, and then from there, just cross, right arm on top of the left one. Bring your hands behind the shoulder blades, and with your fingertips, see if you can pull a little bit, one side out and then the other side out. And then you come back to the center and just pull with your hands, kind of like, I'm going to say, imagine you can really split your shoulder blades apart, okay? Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now I'm going to add another breath, but this time I want you to send the breath into the space in between the shoulder blades. Inhaling. Exhale. Good, and now keeping that hold, see if you can send both elbows to the left, head to the right, back to center. And again, the same side, elbows to the left, head to the right, back to center. One more, same side, and we return. Now I'm sending my arms up, wiggle a little if you need because they get tired. And then left arm goes on top of the right one. And I'm doing the same. I'm holding shoulder blades again and we'll switch sides, okay? So now both elbows are going to the right, head to the left, back to center. Again. Last time. Beautiful. Release the arms up. Now lace the fingers, bring the hands behind the head, put the elbows down and let your hands touch down also onto your blanket. Good. And from here, I'm going to again create a gliding action. So my elbows, they stay open and they stay touching down into my blanket, right? Or the support that I have. And I'm going to slide both elbows over to the right. My head, of course, is turning as well. And the neck muscles are being, of course, ignited. And then I'm coming back to center. I'm trying to stay very flat, let's say, or very much touching my support, okay? Then I'm going over to the left side. And I'm also looking up towards that right elbow when I go to the left, coming back to center. Again, let's go over to the right. Maybe you can look up towards your left elbow. Back to center. Over to the left. Back to center. This is one of my favorite neck, shoulder, and side body movements because it's super simple, but we are not only firing neck muscles, but we are also, of course, working upper back, chest, and the sides of your trunk. They are also getting a little bit more expansion, which I love because it's very important for the lower back as well. Good. Last one to the right. Back to center. and over to the left. And back to center. Nice. Let's keep those feet steady. Now we are going to add arching and rounding. So I'm going to push my elbows down like we did before, arching the spine. This time I'm lifting the chin a little bit. And with the exhale, I'm pressing my belly in, bringing my elbows towards one another, lifting myself up. And again, inhaling, push the floor with your tailbone, lift the chest, keep the chin coming up a little. Exhaling, imagine you're holding a paper in between your elbows, drag the navel in, and we come up. Again, inhaling, we arch. Exhaling, we round. 2 more, inhaling. Exhaling. Last one. Good, then return, release the arms, take a moment here. And now I'm going to invite my belt. And if you have something similar, you're going to try and make a really wide loop. If you do not have these, let's see, if you have like something that is short, I'm going to show you a modification of this, okay? So first, for the ones who have a big loop like me, what we are going to do is a combination of expansion for the legs and opening up together with stretching and firming the neck muscle. So what I'm going to do is to put on one foot, one side of my belt. You can put it underneath your toes, so the base of your toes. The other end, not your buckle. If you have a yoga strap, don't use the buckle, leave it on the side. The other end goes behind the head and above your ears. If you practice with me in these sessions before, I've done this in the past, and this is also very effective. So what I'm doing is to create a push and pull situation here between my foot and my head, right? And with my head, which is supported by my belt, right? And I have it in what we call the occipital bridge, which is like those bones that you can feel at the end of your skull. So it's almost like for the girls when we wear a headband and you have it there on that side that hooks, right? So it holds. With my heel, I'm pushing up towards the skies and I'm getting also a stretch in the hamstring and the back of the leg. Now, if you do not have something as long as this, so you saw this one, I'll return in a second, maybe you just keep that foot down, use the short strap that you have, and you put it in the same place, like I said before, and you just pull with both hands up, and you let the head drop into your belt. So you see how I'm pulling with my arms up, and the head is really rested, okay? So this could be a good variation if you don't have the longest belt ever, okay? Good. For the ones who are here with me, or the other option as well, see if you can, I'm trying to adjust, see if you can really create a place where there is a little bit of like feeling like there's a little bit of a limit. So it's not super soft for my leg. So I feel a little bit of the stretch there in the back, but at the same time, it's not so intense that I cannot hold it, right? So whenever you get to this place, if you're not holding both straps up in the other version, relax the arms and just let the head drop there into your belt as you press with the base of your toes. Full breath here. One more. And for the ones who have this setup like me, I'm just going to hold my belt and switch sides. So now I'm placing my left foot, taking the right foot down, adjusting a little bit if I need in the back of my head, and I'm going over to the second side. If you're not using, right, if you're not doing this part of the exercise because you have a shorter belt, then you just stay there and breathe a few more cycles, okay? From here, once I find the place that I feel that it's comfortable and I can hold, if you need to tighten the belt or change it up, please do, because sometimes we have different leg lengths. Good. And then from here again, I'm releasing my shoulders, kind of like reclining, right, my head. And I don't know if you can see, but hopefully you can. My shoulders are not completely touching down, but they are not completely elevated, right? So I'm just letting them drop, and it's almost like just the top of my shoulders are off the floor. And I feel a little bit of that stretch in the back of the leg, opening the back of the knee, pushing through the heel, taking a breath more here. Good, and then from there, slowly catch that strap, release the foot, slowly release the head down, moving the belt out to the side, and stay to the side for a moment. On the floor. Then we are going to extend one arm, roll over towards the side so we can press up and find the seat. Hello, everyone. Good. Now from here, I'm going to sit. Any shape that feels comfortable for you to sit on, do so. The blanket can stay there, it's all good. If you want to add a block under your sitting bones or maybe a pillow or a bolster like I have there, you can do so as well, okay? So we are going to try and keep a tall spine, and we are going to use movements of the shoulders to help with the neck muscles. So I'm going to do circles, 3 circles, with my shoulders starting first to go forward, then up, then back, and then down. So imagine you can really do those 4 that I just said, right? So I'm creating what we call protraction, or bringing the shoulders in front. Then I'm lifting up towards my ears. Then I'm going back towards my shoulder blades, let's say, and then down towards my hips. Okay, one more. Forward, up, back, and down. And now we are going to reverse it, but we're going to reverse it like this. We go first up, then back, then down, and then in front. Again, up, back, down, and round it. One more. Up, back, down, and round it. Good. And then we come back towards neutral. We are going to inhale, send the arms up overhead, lace the fingers, press with your palms up towards the skies. And then with the exhale, bring the hands behind the head. Good. And from here, we are going to press gently the head into the hands. Keep the elbows opened up. Keep the hips steady if you can. And we are going to inhale at the center. And with the exhale, I'm going to try and twist over to my right. It may not be too big, okay? Don't worry. Then back to center. Exhaling, I'm going over to the left. Back to center. Again, exhale to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Back to center, inhale. Exhale and release. Good, shake it a little if you need. And now with my right arm, I'm going to turn the palm to face up, bring that arm up and over towards the left side of my face. And very gently, I'm going to bring the head over to my right. Now, I'm not pushing strongly or forcefully at all. We never want to do that with the neck muscles because they are very sensitive. So I'm just letting my hand kind of like create a little bit of weight onto my face, right? So the head and the neck, they come over to that right side as I'm stretching the left side. Left shoulder is completely soft, melting down, okay? Good. Then to come back, I'm going to take my right hand over to the right side and bring the head back to neutral and release. Good. Let's switch sides. Now I'm taking my left arm out to the side and placing my palm to face up. I'm taking that arm up and over to the right side of my face and gently applying pressure, a gentle pressure, I'm moving the head now over to my left and letting that right shoulder really drop, like chocolate melting down. Feel the sensation there in that line. It may feel very different than the other side, right? So give yourself a few breaths. Good, and to come back, bring that left hand to the left side and bring the head back to the neutral and release. Beautiful, let's go from here, chin down towards the chest. And we're only going to use the half in the front of the body. So I'm going to take chin over to my right, then slowly back down. Chin over to the left, then slowly back to center. Again, chin to the right, shoulders heavy, releasing. Over to the second side, shoulders heavy but spine tall, and we release. One last time each side. Good, coming up towards neutral. I'm going to extend my legs. We have a few minutes left. Wiggle a little bit here. And now what I'm going to do is to invite you to stand up. I'm hoping that you have a wall or anything that you can touch close by, and I hope you can see what we're going to do next. It doesn't look like it's for the neck, but it is for the neck and the upper back and the shoulders. So I'm going to put one forearm onto my wall, and the height is more or less the height of shoulder to elbow is the same. Okay, I have my tree here, so it might be a little bit of a challenge, but just bring an elbow and forearm onto the wall. It doesn't matter which side you're doing first, just follow the prompt. So I'm pressing the wall and kind of sideways, right? And I have a little bit of space. The space is the length of my upper arm. And then from there, I'm going to bend my knees a little and start walking myself away from the wall. So as I'm walking myself away from the wall, of course, I'm trying to keep my forearm and palm pushing into the wall or pressing. And I'm going as far as I feel I can go. You see how my knees are bent. They are not completely straight. So I'm keeping my knees bent. I'm going as far as I can go. And then I'm going to drop the neck. So it's a lot of stuff. Front of the chest and shoulder, neck there. And we are creating opening right in the lungs. And that shoulder joint is working a lot. Then I'm returning with the head and I'm walking myself back, release that arm, shake it a little, and we switch second side, okay? So the second side that you didn't do yet, forearm on the wall, maybe it's a dresser, maybe it's just a column that you have or I don't know, something that you have there close to you, okay? So shoulder, elbow, more or less same height. I'm pressing into my wall. I'm staying sideways for a moment. I'm bending my knees. And I'm starting to turn. It's a little bit in a diagonal, right? And maybe it doesn't go super far. It's not important. You go as far as until the point that you feel, okay, this is like my limit. And that's the limit and it's all good. Now that shoulder blade on the side that you are touching the wall, try and bring it down and into your body, okay? Once you get there, remember we keep the knees bent. I have a little bit of space in between my feet. And then I'm going to drop the head over to my right. Well, I'm doing my right because I'm using my left arm at the wall, but you do opposite of the arm that you're doing, okay? One more breath. And then I'm returning with the head, walking myself back, releasing that arm. It may feel a little tingly there, so shake it a little. Good, and we are standing and we are close to the end. So keep the feet parallel, keep the knees soft, okay? Firm your glutes a little, and let's go from here, inhaling. We're going to send the arms up overhead. Catch your right wrist, pull from there, and bring yourself over to your left. And then from there, just try and turn the chest so it faces forward. And today I'm going to say, because we're working neck, drop that neck. Don't let it be like tense up, okay? So let the head go. Back to center, we take the last side, right hand catching the left wrist or forearm, pull. Make yourself tall without locking your knees. Firm the glutes, they are moving down towards your heels, and then we go over to the right. Chest coming forward, and try and drop the head if you can. Back to center we go. Bring the palms together into the heart center. We are at the end of our session today. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.